Your Honor, I'm Gaye Hardwick, formerly of Stockton, California. While living there in the first home my husband and I purchased together, where we had so much hope for our future, on March 18th, 1978, Joe DeAngelo attacked us while we were sleeping. He kidnapped me from my bed. He raped me repeatedly. He sodomized me. He forced oral copulation. He stole the few precious pieces of jewelry that I owned, which were gold rings given to me by my brother and my parents to commemorate my graduation from college the year before. I was the first girl in my family to graduate from college, and so those pieces were important to me. He ate from my refrigerator and he drank 2 beers while I lay bound and blindfolded, unclothed and freezing on the hardwood floor in front of an open door in the cold March night. He ransacked our home, and in between he tormented me with threats of death for me and my loved one should I make a sound or resist in any way. The aftermath of this attack has been with me for 42 years. That's a very long life sentence for somebody who had done nothing to deserve such hatred and violence and desecration of my body.
DeAngelo appeared in our life. He broke into our home. He tied me up at gunpoint. He assaulted and raped Gaye repeatedly. It was terrifying for me because I was totally helpless. I could do nothing to protect her. Gaye was a victim of a horrible assault, and I was a victim because I would have to live for the rest of my life knowing I was helpless to prevent this attack. Again, we had decided that we weren't going to let Mr. DeAngelo, this gentleman sitting here, define our life, and we were not going to be cast aside because of this attack. The hardest thing for me over the years was for me to observe my wife having anxiety attacks and panic attacks, knowing there was absolutely nothing I could do except to support her. I can't erase her traumas. DeAngelo is an animal of the worst kind. How the Lord could create such a horrible human being, I do not know.
My name is Jane Carson-Sandler. And DeAngelo, I want you to look at me. I want you to look at me, DeAngelo, and I want you to remember what I have to say. First, I want to say, glory be to my Lord Jesus Christ for sustaining me with his peace, his love, his strength, and power over the last 44 years. Yes, DeAngelo, it's been 44 years. On October 5th, 1976, when you broke into my home in the early hours, just after my husband had left for work, and you shoved your knife into my neck, you bound my wrist and ankles, you blindfolded me, and then gagged me with a cloth. Remember that? But you also did the same to my precious 3-year-old son. How dare you? Then you repeatedly threatened to kill us. The fear escalated when you started tearing sheets and cloths, and I had no idea what you were planning to do with all that cloth. Strangle us, maybe? Yes, I was frozen in fear beyond description. My attention was not on the rape, but fully on where did you put my son when you removed him from the bed? Where did you put him? And what were you going to do to him? Yes, evil one, I turned my pain into power and my mess into a message by facilitating groups of women that had been sexually assaulted and volunteering at our Rape Crisis Center. All very worthwhile activities. Well, you know, quarter of me, being a Christian, I want to say to you, may God have mercy on your soul. But then there's another 3/4 of me that just want to tell you, buddy, to rot in hell.